What's up, y'all? This is the Green. I am back with another one. However, this one is for those who are single or those who are, in the dating pool, those in an entanglement, what have you. Okay? This is going to be another 411, especially because Mercury is not only in Gatorade, in Haterade, we should say, but the Lionsgate portal is also open. So, we're going to touch on that. But Mercury will be in Gatorade from July 17th, so this month, to August 11th of next month. Okay, so these are some of the downloads I got, and the reason why I kind of just decided it would be best to do a quick little podcast, especially during Lionsgate Portal. Okay, just because they come wandering back doesn't mean that you should let them in. If you are too much for them, then what makes you think that they may have changed their mind and they're not just lonely? Not only that, but this Mercury in retrograde is extra hard for everyone just due to the Lionsgate portal being open. Kind of think of it like this. So the devil really doesn't want you to manifest. Especially while the Lionsgate portal is open because, everything is just heightened right now, especially in terms of manifestation or confidence, things of that nature. So, think of it this way. He will do anything in his power, including sending people and whole animals who will act super fucking feral, okay? And he will try to make you act feral. Just expect, just a ton of hormones, pheromones, overall the possibility of bad decisions, okay? I also got that if you are a little bit of a hothead, which no judgment, I have been there, it is time to do the inner work. I also realize that sometimes there are things that we don't even realize are triggers, or, we just don't encounter a trigger too often. And so I feel like that might be a case for you, especially during this Mercury retrograde. I'm also getting, be careful what you say. Okay? Just be careful. Just be mindful. But it is definitely time to do the inner work. No more shoving that shit down. I promise you, you and those who have to interact with you, and those who choose to interact with you, will be very thankful that you did the inner work. With that, I also feel like because Mercury is in retrograde and the Lionsgate portal is open, I feel like you are more likely to lower your standards and your boundaries. So, you, in a sense, will be more susceptible to opening portals for contact to others. Okay, and this isn't just in a spiritual sense. This is kind of in a, material sense too, the 3D, the physical. And so, what I'm saying is maybe it would be best to not unblock that ex-partner, that ex-BFF, that ex-family member, just because you might feel like they might have a change of heart, or you might feel like you're having a change of heart. Know that you blocked them for a reason. I also got that most of the time, when someone accuses you of being too much, it is because they themselves are scared that they're not enough for you. But it's easier to say that you're the problem. And then I also got that song, what is it called? If you're scared, let's see. It's called Go to Church, and it's by Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, and Lil Jon. And the lyrics I got And this is pretty much to them, okay? This is the universe at them. But I got, if you're a scared motherfucker, go to church. If you're a gutter motherfucker, do your dirt. If you a down motherfucker, put in work. If you're a crazy motherfucker, go berserk. Okay, like if that song, oh my gosh. That's just dating me, but that's from my childhood. But I kind of feel like it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like at both of you. It's kind of like a silly, like, hey, you know, it's either time to, like, you know, own up and take accountability for who you are and do the inner work, or at least just accept that, you know, you are who you are and don't try to drag other people into it. So, you know, I'm doubtful that, you know, you were much of a problem, but even so, anyone who accuses you of being too much, it's typically because they are scared that they're not enough for you. And it's much easier to say that you're just the problem. I also got, especially in terms of, like, you know, any type of exes or ex-friends or anything, if you pass this test and you keep your boundaries firm, you keep your standards where they're supposed to be. I don't know what they say, like stand on business 10 toes down nowadays, but if you do that, right, you know, you're essentially like teaching this other person, you know, some lessons that they need in terms of rejection, boundaries, and standards, just by simply ignoring them. So who are we, you know, who are we to feed into the energy and enable them? You know, just because we feel like we might have a moment of temptation or weakness, because that's exactly what it is. It's weakness. Okay, and you've done so much work already. You've gone way too far to, you know, give up now. Like, do not let this person draw you back in. You deserve the love that you give. I also got, there is a new romance on the horizon, but I also have a few warnings you may need to heed, okay? So, I heard a man a few words. Whether this is a woman or a man, this person, you know, they definitely give off like very masculine energy. And they're a very thoughtful individual. You know, I'm getting that, you know, despite being so thoughtful though, they're not incredibly connected to their emotions. But they do like to reciprocate. So, you know, in terms of like affirmation, good boy, Biggie. Sorry, he's being kettle trained right now. Or kennel trained. But in terms of like affirmation, like this person might not necessarily be someone who gives a lot of words of affirmation, but rather, it's okay, Bubbles. But rather, you know, it'll be like through acts of reciprocation. With physical touch, you know, they might make you stuff like with their hands, so like food, pottery, jewelry, things like that. So, you know, they might not be a person of many words, but they'll still show you how they feel about you, okay? I also feel like this person, you know, even so, this person does require a lot of patience. And you gotta remember that, like, they may just, like, they might be starting to reparent themselves now, or it's still very early in their journey. And so they are going to need some patience and some grace, because they're not necessarily mature. Like, they're a teddy bear, and, you know, they're mushy-gushy on the inside, and they do have a lot of emotions, but this person's not necessarily mature. And it's not entirely their fault, but they do have a lot of work to do still. I got the lyrics. My old man is a bad man, but he got a soul as sweet as blood red jam. And what is the rest of it? It's Off to the Races by Lana Del Rey. Let me pull up the lyrics. Good boy, Biggie. he's just like obsessed with Luna today, and I have had enough of him trying to hump her. She has had enough of it, and she wants to be left alone, and I've got him in his kennel. Okay. My old man is a tough man, but he got a soul as sweet as blood red jam, and he shows me, he knows me every inch of my tar black soul. He doesn't mind to have a flat, broke down life. In fact, that's what he says. Excuse me. In fact, he says he thinks it's what he might like about me. Admires me the way I roll like a rolling stone. Okay, so I also got, where is that part? My old man is a bad man, but I can't deny the way he holds my hand, and he grabs me, he has me by my heart. He doesn't mind I have a Las Vegas past. He doesn't mind I have an LA crass way about me. He loves me with every beat of his cocaine heart. So, like, it's okay, Pixie. Obviously, like, you know, they have a past, this person, you know, this romantic interest of yours. They're definitely not perfect, but obviously neither are you. Okay, and so all I can say for this part is, like, at least for them and for you, you know, you might still have some baggage too. I mean, we've got that download in which there's some work to do in terms of being a hothead, right? And so I kind of feel like you both just have a little bit of maturing to do, and that's totally okay. But both of you should definitely ensure the past is in the past before locking in, before any term of commitment, before signing any prenup or, you know, lease or mortgage agreement. You know, just make sure the past is in the past before locking in with this individual. Okay? Before any babies. I just got a spirit baby. Before any babies. You will be so grateful that you did, okay? You will be grateful that you took the time to ensure that, you know, not only are your ducks in a row, but their ducks are in a row. I also got this vision of this meme, and it's like a video, and I'm sure y'all have seen it. It's kind of like making its rounds within the Neurospicy community, and it's this video of this like Nico, like cat creature looking thing, and it's driving a car, and it's a cartoon, and it's driving a car, and in the passenger seat it looks like the Grim Reaper or something. And this Grim Reaper is totally silent this whole video, whereas the Nico cat thing is singing its heart out, and it's singing that song, making my way downtown, walking fast, faces passing, I'm homebound. And it's like, it's just talking about like the different aspects of that particular Neurospicy community. And so I don't know, maybe you both might be a little bit like neurodivergent, or one or the other is neurodivergent, you know. Maybe neurodivergence doesn't exist at all, but what I'm trying to say is that was definitely prevalent, and that vision came for a reason. I also got, particularly because this is a cover, but I got the song Let Me See You Stripped. That was originally by Depeche Mode, but I got the Rammstein cover, which is, you know, if y'all are into like, I would say like they're industrial, like German industrial, you know, like late 90s, early 2000s industrial new metal type shit. But the song is essentially talking about, not necessarily like stripping down physically, though that could totally be, you know, part of it. But it's talking about wanting to see a person for who they are to the core and wanting to understand them. And I feel like this is going to be how you two feel about each other. You know, I do definitely feel a lot of passion, a lot of fun, you know, like some Knight of Wands energy. And there's a lot of potential there, but you can't do much with potential. So just be careful. I also got like some like Pisces type energy. Like this person kind of lives in their head. And it's like definitely like dreamy type deal. Like they love to daydream when in a positive aspect. However, this person is also high anxiety. So I also got that 9 of Swords energy. So it's like 7 of Cups, 9 of Swords. Okay, like when in a negative aspect, they can be anxiety ridden. And it's a rough time for them. And they just like, I'm telling you, they live in their head for the most part. And so like, you probably would have no idea unless you communicated with them about it. But even then, Mercury is in retrograde and shit is just going to be a little wild right now, okay? Okay. I got that this connection can also be a bit dangerous, okay? As there's high potential here for toxicity. Like, yes, there is definitely the passion, but there is a huge lack of maturity. And if it's not on your end, it is definitely on their end. So it's up to you if you're willing to wait. Because yes, they are doing the work, but it might not be at your pace, okay? Again, Knight of Wands energy. Like they're coming in fast and, you know, hot and heavy and fun, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're doing the work. At least not on your timeline. Does that make sense? Okay. I also got that y'all have some lurkers on your social media. Okay? And possibly neighbors, but particularly social media. So right now, with the Lionsgate portal and Mercury in retrograde, your attraction levels are magnified. Okay? So you also have like strong mother energy in general, and a lot of people are healing mother wounds right now in particular. So the collective, you know, like, or if you're, you know, of the masculine variety and you identify as a male, you have strong paternal energy. But the collective in general just has this parent-like energy. You know, you're the mom of the group, the dad of the group, whatever. You just really help people feel safe. And you really make this person feel safe. You know, the lurkers feel safe enough to lurk on your fucking social media. But you've got a lot going for you. You know, I feel like you're like a warm sunset and a cool glass of iced tea or lemonade, or even both, like an Arnold Palmer. And with sunsets, you know, we get colors like yellow, orange, red, purple. So I wrote those down. Let's go ahead and talk about red first. So, as we know, that is related to the root chakra. You can also correlate this with passion, survival, rage or wrath, ambition or drive, primal instincts, lust, and possibly love. As for purple, we know this is related to the crown chakra. Immediately, like, I felt Prince's energy, as in, you know, Prince, you know, when doves cry Prince, you know, raspberry beret Prince. I fucking love Prince. But anyway, I felt his energy. He came through fast, swift, fashionably late, came through. Anyways, purple is also related to royalty, spiritual awakening, higher consciousness, which Prince had, by the way, intelligence, wisdom. I also kind of feel like this could definitely be the color of your aura, at least as of late. So maybe research that, like what a purple aura means. It's okay, boys. If you want like specifics, I don't know why, but something just told me to get real specific. I was thinking of like a dark purple. Not a light purple, no lavender, but no periwinkle, but dark purple. Okay, as for orange, we know this is related to the sacral chakra. So the sacral chakra can also alert us of danger, so that is definitely something that I associated with orange. But I also associate like a burst of freshness, you know, possibly citrus. That might be something that you smell of. In particular, I got like citrus, orchid, and jasmine scents, especially because of like that whole sunset vibe. I also feel like this can allude to warmth, obviously. You know, you're just a very warm individual. As for yellow, we know that is related to the solar plexus. I also want to remind you about your digestive health, though. Okay, so someone might be having a little bit of digestive issues, but I also feel like you're getting cravings. Okay, and I got just eat the damn cake, just eat the damn slice. You know, I got that someone might be craving like banana cream pie. I don't know if that's an innuendo, but whatever. Someone might be craving banana cream pie. Nothing wrong with that kind of stuff, okay? Nothing wrong with eating that kind of stuff. I know most consider this sort of food junk food, but it is okay so long as it's in moderation and it's tweaked to your dietary needs. So if you can't have sugar, have something sugar-free, etc., etc. But yeah, let's eliminate that idea that some food is junk. Like, if you ever hear someone say that food is junk, like just total junk, unless it's like, you know, a fucking Twinkie or something, but even then, like, you can have Twinkies in moderation for the most part. Like, this new diet culture is crazy to me. But anyway, yes, you've got a lot going for you. Sophisticated mama, sophisticated papa, sophisticated mama. But yeah, that's you. I also got... Oh yeah, we were going to talk about yellow. We actually talked about yellow in yesterday's reading too, I believe. Let me see. It's okay, Vicky. It's okay, Squiggo. Well, from what I can remember, it represents optimism, hope, of course, a fresh new start, much like orange, peace, tranquility, a bright future, blah, 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 things of that nature, more citrus, blah, 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 lemonade, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I also got, right now, because this card fell on the floor while I was doing my workout. It's okay, boobs. It's okay, boobs. You know, I should just let you out, huh? It crushes when you cry like that, boobs. For 1 second. Alright, y'all, I am back. Sorry about that. Anyway, this card fell on the floor while I was working out. It was Hermit. It was from... What is this one called? It's my mini tarot deck. It's just called Tarot, but it's by Dennis Fairchild with illustrations by Julie Poshkiss. 1 second. Alright, I'm back. I was trying to let him just be out of the kennel, but he just will not leave Lulu Bells alone. And she deserves a break and to be left the hell alone. And I don't blame her for feeling that way. She's getting snappy. I'm getting snappy. Becky's getting snappy. We're all snappy here. Anyway. It's okay, Bubs. Just listen to the lo-fi. Let me put on some different lo-fi. I like this one. Yeah, okay, basketball boys.
Now we gotta go help people customize and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual.
I love Limu Emu.
Lulu, where's the golf carts?
Okay. So anyway, when I was working out, I had gotten up to check on Lulu, and I saw beside the bed from that tarot deck, the one by Dennis Fairchild and Julie Poshkiss, the Hermit card was on the floor, face down, upside down. Okay, so this is where I'm getting this message. Like, please get out there. Don't be scared. I heard if you're scared, motherfucker, go to church again. But don't be scared. Don't be afraid to get out there. I know the world is a wild place right now. I know it. I know that people are acting feral as fuck. I know. But I promise you, you will be glad that you got out. And who knows, you know, you might even run into this person. Though I feel like for this person in particular, especially with that Piscean energy, Seven of Cups energy, if we see the world and the Seven of Cups in the card pool, I know for sure this will be online. But I feel like you might learn of this individual, this new romantic connection online. If not, it'll be probably in the workplace. But yeah, don't be afraid to get out there, friend. Let's see. I also got that people love your style. And that's another reason why people are like super attracted to you right now. Like, the best way I could sum up your style is like a big fuck you to others. So like rebellious in the polarities of like either obscure, bizarre, and maybe even like very little clothing, or the direct opposite, right? Those polarities. So like clean cut, modest, and conservative. It's kind of both adored and abhorred, okay? In the sense that, you know, people do love it, you know, people are eating it up, but at the same time, they like, some of them even like, I'm not gonna lie, like have that envy and that jealousy, and like some of them even like hate you for it. So like for example, if you're, you know, super clean cut, but you're just super attractive, you know, like they can't say like, for instance, if you're a masculine, they can't be like, oh, well, you know, that person just has a beard and that's like the makeup of men, or anything like that, right? That was an interesting example too. So maybe that's like, you know, specific to you. This is from the Lurkers, okay? I got Change House of Flies by Deftones. Okay, so this particular like person who may be watching your social media, oh my gosh, I think he's asleep, guys. As in my dog. I think he's asleep now. I think he's chilling. Thank goodness. But he's getting used to it. But anyway, let me pull up those lyrics. Change House of Flies. Oh, in the House of Flies. So I watched you change into a fly. I looked away. You were on fire. I watched a change in you. It's like you never had wings. Now you feel so alive. I've watched you change. I took you home, set you on the glass. I pulled off your wings. Then I laughed. So, whoever that particular fucking... I'm sorry, I just got distracted because this band Vanilla just came on and I love Vanilla. But this person definitely like sees the change in you, especially because like if this is a lurker, this could be an ex. Like, you know, they know that they like took you home, pulled off your wings, and, you know, humiliated you and laughed and, you know, treated you terribly. I'm sorry, guys. If this is going on, I am so sorry. Maybe you should go about, like, blocking this person if you haven't already. If not, you know, don't unblock them. But they may even be, like, looking at your social media through, like, fake accounts. So there's that. So just kind of be careful there. I get that you're fairly private for the most part anyway. And, you know, I don't think I have to tell you too much, but just don't play with fire in terms of that lurker. And you know who I'm talking about. I also got Bitches Brew by Crosses. Let me pull up the lyrics. Bitches Brew Crosses. If you haven't heard this song and you like, you know, like, I guess like alternative and stuff, you'd probably really like this song. I got from the flames of the fire, I feel you crawl into my bed, throwing shapes at the sky. I watch you climb into me. With your knees open, on display you taunt the beast again. 'Cause when you move and shake, that thing inside you comes awake. As you dance against the breathing walls, my claws are out, I want to feel it all. Feel it crawl inside you, changing shape. Take out your breath and feel you come awake. I feel like y'all got like shapeshifter energy. And this definitely like comes through like not just your style, but like all of your aesthetics. So like it might come through your social media, you know, it comes through your special interests, things like that. I feel like y'all are very taboo. Like I'm getting heavy scorpionic energy and I love it. Maybe some of y'all like have like a specific Scorpio placement, such as maybe your moon is in Scorpio, maybe your Venus is in Scorpio, or maybe even your Lilith is in Scorpio, or Dark Lilith, whatever you prefer to call it. Alright, the final download, my sophisticated mamas and papas, is the world is your oyster. And oysters are also an aphrodisiac. Do with that what you will. Okay, let's go ahead and get into tarot. Alright, let's say our mantra. I cloak myself in a chiffon of pink. I ask my spirit guides, ancestors, deities, angels, and Mother Nature to ground me in a protective glimmer, so I may think and so that I may shimmer. I am your oracle of the light and your seer of the dark. Please grant me that creative spark and allow me to bask in your divine essence through this confusion and stark. It's okay, Bobs. It's okay, Bobs. Good boy. I am you, and you are me. Voice through me these messages you wish to speak, and blessed be. It's okay, little monkey. It's okay. Let me put this away. I think I am going to try to let him out again. See how that goes, and then we will pop into tarot. So please give me just a moment. Alright, y'all, I am back. It's okay, Biggie. He is out of his kennel. I just got him settled down. I don't want to rile him up too much, because Lulu is also napping right now. And she wants to be left alone. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into tarot. I kind of want to pull from, since I never really used this deck. You know, I specifically used it for like clarifiers for the longest time. Biggs, please leave her alone. She's sleeping. Bobby. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Bubs. 1 second, guys, please. I'm sorry. This little dude, my guys, like, he's so, like, he's like a spicy quesadilla. I should have named him Napoleon or something, because he's a bold guy. Anyway, we are going to use the tarot deck, this mini tarot deck that is by Dennis Fairchild with illustrations by Miss Julie Poshkiss. Alright. What does my collective need to know right now? Okay, so for crowning energy, we have the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Nine of Swords in reverse, and we have the Seven Pentacles in reverse. Damn, so like there's that energy of like, you know, you are the Queen of Pentacles, you know, whoever you are, you got this Queen of Pentacles energy, be it male, female, I don't care, you radiate it, you know, whoever ends up chasing after you knows that you deserve the best, especially in terms of the material world. And even if that's not like something that you strive after, that is still something that they feel like you deserve. They wish they could give you the world. And if they can't, then it can also kind of feel like, for them in particular, it would just make them feel like a failure. And so rather than feeling like a failure, they'd rather just, you know, either avoid you completely or, you know, worst case scenario, these people might really build themselves up to be a lot more than they're cracked up to be with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. You know, especially in terms of finances. So like they might like, you know, this might even be, oh my gosh, because we got off to the races. Oh, this might even be someone who just kind of like wishes that they can support you and, you know, I don't know, like maybe some of y'all like are parents, especially with this Queen of Pentacles energy, and some of y'all got children already. And so they wish that they could like let you be at home with the children if you guys, you know, wanted to have children together. Again, they wish that you could be at home with the children and just, you know, pretty much spend your time taking care of the domestic matters, you know, appointment setting, cooking. I feel a lot of kitchen witchery here, so I feel like a lot of you have very healing hands, be it through any sort of cooking or baking or, you know, anything you serve really. Some of you might even be bartenders. Some of you may be Reiki practitioners. If so, welcome, welcome. That is really cool. Even so, this person just like, you know, they see your worth. And even if like, again, if anyone ever tells you that, you know, you're too much, that is on them, and it is more than likely because they personally feel that they cannot meet your standards, they cannot adhere to your boundaries, and your needs just feel like they're a little too much for them. Okay, it doesn't mean that you're too much, it just means that they are unable to reciprocate as much as they would love to. Okay, so for the main energy, we got 10 of Swords in reverse, we got 8 of Cups in reverse, we got 2 of Pentacles, and we've got the High Priestess. For suppressed and oppressed energy, we got the World in reverse. Interesting. And we got the 6 of Swords in reverse. Okay. No overall energy today because when I split the deck, like, And I honestly, like, I didn't, like, fix the cards or anything, but 2 cards were facing down. I have no idea what they were. There's no overall energy today from that. With the main energy being 10 of Swords in reverse, the 8 of Cups in reverse, the 2 of Pentacles, and the High Priestess, I kind of feel like you may even, like, this is gonna be the test from the universe. Like, are you healed? Are you over it? Are you over this person? But with the whole Mercury in retrograde and the whole idea of the Lionsgate portal, you know, you are going to be attracting everybody under the sun, everybody and their mother, especially with your motherly, fatherly, paternal, maternal energy. And so an ex is definitely going to be coming in for y'all, okay? And they're going to try and shoot their shot. Like, when I look at this High Priestess card, she honestly kind of reminds me of Cupid with the way that, you know, she looks. She's floating in the air and she's holding these this vine to pomegranates, and it kind of reminds me of like Cupid with his bow and arrow. Like, I am definitely getting this like hidden passion and lust and, like, you know, just energy that they have had and carried through this entire time. Okay? So, with the 2 of Pentacles here, you're going to have a couple of options here. And you can choose to juggle them if you so choose, but, you know, we got the High Priestess. So 2 of Pentacles, High Priestess, 2-2. High Priestess is the second card of the Major Arcana for those who do not know. That's why I said 2-2. With both of those out here, you know what's right for you. You know that, like, if you were to entertain this individual, like, it would essentially be a juggling act for you. And with the ex energy, or this could even be an ex-friend, but I definitely just, like, get a lot of just lustful feelings, especially with the pomegranate vine. Like, of course they miss you. I feel like they're fucking just not over you. But the real question is, are you over them? Are you willing to juggle the responsibilities of yourself and this toddler I heard? Because they pretty much, you know, were like a kid that you were taking care of. So it's like, you know, do you want to take on that responsibility again, or would you rather just start anew? You know, with the 8 of Cups in reverse and the 10 of Swords in reverse, like, think of all the healing you've already done and how much this person hurt you and all the betrayal that they put you through. Okay, like, with the 8 of Cups in reverse, if you're wondering if you made the right decision, yes, you made the right decision. I know pheromones and hormones are huge right now, but
you can customize and save.
letting this person back in, I feel like would be a huge mistake. Again, that is entirely up to you. But if you choose to, you know, go back on that and let them back in, just know that you're going to go right back to juggling. Again, for the suppressed and oppressed energy, we have the 6 of Swords in reverse and the World in reverse. Like, there is so much healing that this person still has not done. There are so many betrayals and a lot of resentments and hurt that have not been worked through still. And I don't think you even realize that. And I feel like both of you, you know, are just being plagued with all this lustful and, you know, just the pheromones and the hormones. There's some citrus in the world here. Funny. They have not done the work though, and I feel like there is a little bit of work for you to do, and a little bit of baggage to work through, because again, there is that new person that wants to come in. So we will actually put these cards away, and we will say that that was primarily for that X energy and what to do in terms of that. How about this new energy? We will use the Modern Witch Tarot deck. Okay. I split the deck and I see the Nine of Wands. I feel like, you know, I know you're kind of like bored with the dating pool, and you're kind of like tired of the same old, and it can feel like, you know, you keep encountering the same people in a different meat sack. That was like a particular download I got. And if that is the case, if you do keep encountering someone, you know, the same soul, it feels like, or the same issues, just a different person, different space, I feel like that kind of just, you know, shows us that there is like some inner work to be done still. All right, so crowning energy, Five of Cups. What else we got here? Queen of Cups reverse, Ace of Cups. Okay. As for the main energy, what do we got? Five of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, the Six of Swords in reverse. Let's get one more. And the Ten of Cups in reverse. And let's get oppressed and suppressed. Okay. So, Two of Swords in reverse and Temperance. For overall energy, we have the Devil in reverse and we have the Knight of Swords. I feel like with this particular connection, especially from like the outer energy of the Knight of Swords, like it's gonna come in like really quickly, and I feel like with the Ace of Cups and the Queen of Cups in reverse, again, there's still a lot of emotional maturing to do on both aspects, on both spectrums. And again, you cannot pour from an empty cup. With the Devil in reverse, I feel like now you're going to be taking your time and really just assessing situations from what they are, rather than allowing any sort of like feelings of lust that you may confuse for love come into the picture. I heard digmatized, or, you know, I don't know what the male version of that is, or like if you're into women, I don't know what that version is, but you know, I feel like there is just like a lot of like, you're very into physical chemistry with people. And this actually like might come as a shock to you that, you know, it's possible that this other person that you meet might not actually be as into that sort of physical stuff, though they will reciprocate it. Interesting connection. But yes, with the Devil in reverse, the Queen of Cups in reverse, the Ace of Cups, and the Five of Cups, you know, there is still a lot of work for you both to do here. With the Six of Swords in reverse and the Ten of Cups in reverse, I feel like, you know, this person has been in a really dark place for a long time. And I feel like you're kind of like bringing, you know, I saw a vision of like some clouds and then like the rays of the sun peeking through the clouds. And I feel like that's kind of like how you are for them. Like you're a little bit of sunshine peeking through the clouds for them. But at the same time, they also realize that they cannot rely on you for, you know, those short hits of dopamine, you know, they can't rely on you for happiness in a sense. And so they are also realizing that they cannot pour from an empty cup. And it's almost kind of like the last energy of that lurker, right? In which they, know that they can't necessarily provide you exactly with what you deserve. However, this person is a lot more emotional about it because of the Ace of Cups here, rather than all the Pentacles like in the last one. This person has a lot of love for you, and they really wish they could offer you a cup, but they're also scared of any sort of rejection, because I also get that you can be a spicy quesadilla, and, I kind of do feel like there might be some feminine energy in which it could be like, heavy feminist, but not necessarily in the best ways, okay? And I want to remind you, especially with the Five of Cups here, it's not all men, and I'm sure you're tired of hearing that. But just because, and it could have been that lurker, but just because, I understand that you have been left out in the cold with the Five of Pentacles in reverse, and that, you have been betrayed with the Seven of Swords. And there's a lot of baggage from that you're carrying. But just because that in particular happened with that person, that doesn't necessarily mean that it'll happen with others. However, you still do need to be careful with this person. I feel like they're not seeking to actively betray you, but I also feel like, again, this person isn't the most mature, and being that they came in with the quickness, it's because, they were overloaded on, lust and desire too. And, it might not be like that throughout the entirety of, them courting you. Okay, like they may have come in like this because they too were just betrayed and they're getting out of a breakup, or, I just feel like very flighty energy. Like, if they do stick around for the long run, they might not necessarily, like, be there for everything. Like, if there's an emergency, I don't feel like you can necessarily, like, completely count on this individual. But at the same time, there are a lot of feelings here. I just feel like a lot of work needs to be done. With the Two of Swords in reverse and Temperance, I feel like they have a lot of potential. Especially, like, if you both choose to heal and, balance out, balance yourselves out. This in turn will balance out your relationship if you choose to get into a relationship with them, and help you pour into one another. And it'll also create the idea of the yin and yang. The feminine, the masculine. It could really be a divine relationship, because if you look at the Temperance card, it shows an angel, and she has one foot on the ground and another foot in the water. She is, transmuting liquid between two different chalices and, pouring it back and forth. She has a rainbow for a sweater, so it represents the blend of the rainbow, right? And all the people, and the triangle in the center of her sweater also brings forth the idea that, we are all one, essentially. All that equality. I feel like, this person has one toe dipped in the water and one foot out. And you can feel it too. And again, they're not going to, be trying to leave you high and dry intentionally, or, sabotage you intentionally. But they do worry about things like, like, for instance, like, if they grew up in a house in which, like, their mom cheated on their dad, or their dad cheated on their mom, they're a little worried that they might, like, carry out that cycle, they're a little worried that, you know, they might not be as great of a person as they had hoped, and they're a little worried that this relationship is going to reveal layers to themselves that they're not ready to address just yet. So even though you do bring them a lot of joy and a lot of happiness, this person still has a lot of work to do. And I feel like you do too. What is some advice for this particular spread? I'm gonna pull from the Gypsy Witch Oracle deck. Okay. Aww. Okay. So y'all, I feel like a lot of y'all are female, I'm not gonna lie, because we got a lot of female energy in this reading. So what I got, Bix, baby boy, she is getting so annoyed with you right now. Please leave her alone. Please leave her alone, sir. Thank you. My God, she's beautiful, she's majestic, but he's not catching the hint. That, I feel like you might even, like, you know, be feeling that sort of energy too. In which you're just like, leave me the fuck alone, and someone's not catching the hint. You know, that could be that lurker. So if that is the case, then, you know, they can fuck off. If not, then whoever is making you feel that way, you know, fuck that shit. And I hope that their mom is on their booties as much as I am on Biggie's booty, because we do not allow that sort of disrespect up in here. Anyway, what we got from the Gypsy Witch Oracle deck was number 47, the Bride, number 30, the Rod, number 49, the Eye, number 1, the Sun, number 12, Children, number 18, the Woman, and that's why I also feel like there's, like, you know, a strong chance that y'all are female. 1 second, one moment. Gonna have a little interruption. One moment. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to put Mickey back in his kennel because he's just not leaving her alone. Okay. Finally, for the overall energy, we have number 14, the Rider. Okay. So, with the Bride, I am going to read it. The Bride ensures for a single person the fulfillment of their highest aims when near, if distant, turbulent married life. With the Bride, like, I feel like, again, and with the Knight of Swords, like, this person is coming in swift, super quick. Like, I kind of feel like they want some sort of emotional commitment. If not, like, you know, they might even propose, like, almost immediately, okay? And it's up to you what you say, but at the same time, like, I also want you to bear in mind there is the possibility of turbulence in your married life, because this person and you do have a lot of work to do. We have number 30 out here, which is the Rod, and when near predicts family quarrels, and when distant, pecuniary loss. And so I feel like too, because, like, I had gotten that Love is Blind energy again. So this totally could be like online dating or something like that. Or, like, you know, it could be work. But I feel like this is all just moving so quickly that, like, even family is starting to notice. And this might even, like, cause some riptides that y'all weren't expecting in terms of family. So that's another thing to prepare for. And, like, between the two of you. Because if y'all ever watch Love is Blind, like, a lot of the times when, like, these couples take each other to go meet their families, like, the families are very confused and very judgmental. So there's that. We also have number 49, the Eye. The eye when near denotes great interest taken by friends. When distant, it signifies suspicion. So I feel like both of those can be true in this situation, and we need to pick up on that nuance in the sense that signifying suspicion, your family could be suspicious of that person. You could be suspicious of that person, especially with the baggage that you're carrying from that, prior relationship. They can be suspicious of you. It's okay, Biggie. It's okay, Biggie. They could be suspicious of you, and I feel like their family could be suspicious of you, and their family could definitely be wondering about what your intentions are, what, their friends, your friends, are immediately wondering what the intentions are. But we also have number 1, which is the sun, and when near, it signifies happiness and popularity. But we also have number 12, and that's children, which signifies gentleness and friendly disposition. This person wants to offer you a cup, okay? Like, this person feels like you are the sunshine of their life. Aw, what is that song? I think it's by Cream. I've been waiting. Sunshine of your love. Sunshine of your love. This song literally just came to my head, and it's by Cream. It's getting near dawn. When lights close their tired eyes, I'll be with you I'll soon be with you, my love. Give you my dawn surprise. I'll be with you, darling, soon. I'll be with you when the stars start falling. I've been waiting so long to be where I'm going in the sunshine of your love. Aw. Biggie Bones, it's okay. It's okay, bubs. But yeah, this person, like, you are the light of their life, and then off to the races, light of my life, fire of my loins. You're the light of their life, the fire of their loins, like, their inner child sees yours, your inner child sees them. You might have even known this person since, like, childhood, so you might be childhood friends, but I see it. I see the love here. I do. I'm not gonna lie. I see, like, how happy y'all make each other. I see it. And I feel like, number 14, the writer, that is a sure sign of good news. So this person, they've got feelings for you. They love you. They've got a lot of love for you. There is a lot of work to be done. And they are also, like, kind of scared to offer you this love and to be rejected. So there's that. I feel like this love would, like, almost, like, cause riptides such as, like, Helen of Troy type deal, like Helen and Paris. I don't know if y'all have heard that story, but long story short, Helen was married to the king of Troy. Paris decides that, he likes Helen. Helen decides that she likes Paris. The man that she's married to is abusive as hell and a piece of shit, and he's old and gross. She falls in love with Paris, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm just getting that forbidden love type deal. Like, Romeo and Juliet type shit. So, like, y'all tell me. Y'all let me know. Y'all go ahead and give me confirmation in the comments if you feel like it. But all I'm saying is, it's okay, Squidward. All I'm saying is, just with Two of Swords in reverse and the Temperance, do not go into this blindly, okay? Like, really stop and think and try to find balance and common ground. Both of you have one toe in and one toe out. Both of you do, okay? Both of you do, or will, okay, if you haven't met this person yet. Just bear that in mind. Alright, y'all. I think I'm going to close it here. By all that is divine, I will now close and exit this reading. Thank you for illuminating the path and for not retreating. Our session has now come to an end, and this advice I shall not bend. Please be safe on your path and keep me safe in the aftermath. Blessed be. And so it be like that. Later, y'all.